Let's unravel the mystery of the Alawites.
Let's do it.
Okay.
They're a fascinating group,
Yeah.
This religious minority primarily found in Syria,
Right.
and they've been shrouded in secrecy for centuries.
Yeah, it's like they embody that idea of hidden knowledge in like a real-world sense.
Mm-hmm.
But their story isn't just about ancient rituals and secret doctrines. There's a powerful political dimension, too.
Absolutely.
The Alawites have held a disproportionate amount of power in Syria, particularly under the Assad regime.
Right.
Both Hafez al-Assad, who ruled from 1971 to 2000, and his son, Bashar al-Assad, who succeeded him, are Alawites.
Yeah. So that connection to political power adds another layer, I think, to understanding the Alawites.
Yeah.
To what extent has their religious identity been shaped by their political role and vice versa?
Right.
It's a question that historians and scholars are still debating.
So let's try to dive into like what we actually know about their beliefs.
Okay.
It's not easy to get a clear picture.
No.
Their doctrines have traditionally been passed down orally and kept within a very tight-knit community.
Right. And there's even debate about whether they should be classified as a distinct religion or as an offshoot of Shia Islam.
Okay.
Some Alawites believe they are a separate religion, while others see themselves as part of the Shia tradition.
So that makes it even trickier to kind of unpack their belief system.
Yeah.
But let's start with some of the core tenets that we do know about.
Okay.
Like, they believe in reincarnation.
Reincarnation, okay.
But their concept of reincarnation is unique in that they view earthly life as a kind of punishment, a cycle of rebirth that they're trying to escape.
That's very different from the more common understanding of reincarnation as like a process of spiritual evolution.
Yeah.
For the Alawites, it seems like the goal is to break free from that cycle of rebirth altogether and achieve a state of spiritual liberation.
It's almost like they see like earthly existence as this kind of purgatory.
Yeah, interesting.
They also have a very deep reverence for Ali,
Okay.
the cousin and son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad.
Right, that reverence for Ali is a key element of Alawite identity. And it really sets them apart from Sunni Muslims who view Ali as the fourth and final rightly guided caliph.
Okay.
The Alawites elevate Ali to a much higher status.
Yeah.
Some even seeing him as a divine manifestation.
And then there's this concept of mana and ism, which is pretty complex.
I've heard a little bit about this.
Essentially, they believe that God has incarnated 7 times throughout history.
Okay.
And each time he's accompanied by these lower associates called ism, who conceals his true identity.
So it's this idea that God's true nature is hidden.
Yeah.
And only revealed to a select few.
Right.
It's a very esoteric concept.
It is.
And it's interesting to note that their belief system seems to be a blend of various influences.
Yeah.
It draws from Islam, Christianity, Greek philosophy, and even pre-Islamic Syrian traditions.
It's like they've woven together these different threads from different spiritual traditions to create their own unique tapestry of beliefs.
A tapestry of beliefs. I like that.
But as we mentioned earlier, their identity is contested.
Right.
There have been efforts, particularly under the Assad regime, to align Alawite beliefs more closely with Twelver Shia Islam, which is the largest branch of Shia Islam.
So that raises questions about, authenticity.
Right.
To what extent are these efforts a genuine reflection of Alawite beliefs?
Yeah.
And to what extent are they politically motivated?
Right.
Some people argue that the Assads have tried to downplay the more esoteric aspects of Alawite beliefs to gain wider acceptance, within the Muslim world.
It makes you wonder if we're even getting a complete picture of what the Alawites truly believe.
Right. Is there even more to their hidden knowledge than we've been able to uncover?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings us back to this ex-occultist and his claims about the master key.
Right.
Like, could it be that the Alawites, through their secrecy and these esoteric beliefs, have actually preserved a form of knowledge that's been lost or suppressed in other traditions?
It's possible, isn't it?
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does.
Like, what if this group is holding on to some key to understanding, like, the deeper truths of reality?
Yeah, it's a very compelling narrative.
Yeah.
But we do have to be careful, not to get carried away with speculation. The Alawite secrecy makes it so hard to separate fact from fiction, especially when it comes to their more esoteric beliefs.
You're right. We don't want to just project our own fascinations
Exactly.
with hidden knowledge onto them. But there are some historical accounts that kind of lend credence to this idea that they do possess knowledge that's been deliberately hidden.
Really?
Do you remember Ibn Battuta?
Oh, yeah, the 14th century traveler.
Yeah.
He journeyed across most of the known world.
Yeah, he actually encountered the Alawites. Back then, they were known as the Nusairис. During his travels through Syria.
So what did he have to say about them?
Well, his account of the Alawites gives us some pretty valuable insights into their beliefs and practices, even way back then.
I see.
He described their reverence for Ali, their secretive rituals, and their belief in reincarnation.
So it sounds like this intentional obfuscation of Alawite beliefs.
Yeah.
It's been going on for centuries.
It really makes you wonder, like, why go through all that trouble
Right.
to keep your beliefs hidden?
Was it a way to protect themselves from persecution?
Maybe.
You know, in a predominantly Sunni Muslim world?
Possibly. Or was there like a more strategic reason, a desire to maintain control over this knowledge, and therefore their power?
Those are excellent questions.
Yeah, and it reminds us that hidden knowledge can be a double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
You know, it can be used to preserve traditions.
Right, to safeguard sacred teachings.
Yeah, from people who might misuse them.
But it can also be used to manipulate, to control.
Right.
To create an in-group versus an out-group.
And the Alawites' history is intertwined with both of those possibilities.
It is fascinating.
It is, and I think this brings us back to the listener. Like,
yes.
What can we take away from this deep dive into this world of hidden knowledge?
What questions does it raise about our own beliefs and how we see the world?
I think for me, the biggest takeaway is just the importance of critical thinking.
Oh, absolutely.
Questioning assumptions and considering different perspectives.
We should always be wary of anyone claiming to have the exclusive truth.
Yeah.
Whether it's a self-proclaimed ex-occultist or a secretive religious group.
Knowledge is power.
It is.
And it's so essential to approach it with both curiosity and discernment. Well said, as we've seen, the line between hidden knowledge and deliberate obfuscation can be pretty blurry.
It can.
The Alawites, with their mix of esoteric beliefs and political influence, they offer this really compelling case study, I think, in the complexities of knowledge and power.
So the next time you hear somebody claiming they have secret knowledge, remember to ask yourself, who benefits from keeping this knowledge hidden?
Right.
And what are the consequences for those who are excluded?
And maybe even more importantly, how does this connect to your own pursuit of knowledge and understanding?
Such a good point.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next time.